All right, what up, YouTube? This is No Cap No Filter. I'm your host, Mother G. Back at y'all another episode of Running With You. And on to the night episode, we got to talk about this video I came across. And this man basically sharing his theory on when the family member who breaks the cycle becomes the villain. Haven't watched anything on this video yet. We can react to it together. Without further ado, let's get straight on into it. Try to keep the intro very short, straight to the point from now on, y'all.
That child who breaks the family cycle typically becomes the villain. The moment you stop participating in your family's dysfunction, you suddenly become the villain for some reason. Now you bougie. Now you think you better than everybody else. Now you change. But what they don't tell you is this. Breaking the cycle will make the people who refuse to break it uncomfortable because your discipline exposes their excuses. Your boundaries will expose their entitlement. I remember one time I was talking to my brother. I was giving him some game, just trying to show him that he could move a little smarter in life. He said, "You still Lil Rod," trying to remind me of who I used to be, trying to pull me back down to the version of me that he was comfortable with. Because when you evolve, some people in your own family feel like you're abandoning the old version of yourself. Then I heard from another sibling that my own mother be calling me bougie because I don't live the way we used to live, because I set boundaries, because I refuse to participate in the chaos and the drama. Here's another.
Yeah, man. Basically, to sum all this up is the crab in a bucket mentality. And, a lot of this is trauma bonding. A lot of people who don't really grow, they make all the excuses to remain entrapped, and they like to, be around people who are like-minded. Once a person try to better themselves, whether it's becoming financially um well off, or even if it ain't got nothing to do with finances, maybe it's just a shift in mindset. Like maybe someone just, want to escape the victim mindset. Maybe someone want to just become more knowledgeable, uh, more fit, more conscious, all around when it comes to mind, body, soul, and peace. You know, all this is just basically maturing and it's just growth. And a lot of people, they before they grow, they're going to self destruct, and they're going to, remain in a state where they're comfortable and they can make excuses and just be enabled. One thing about people who, just want to always play a victim card, or people who want to just remain, stagnant, they get comfortable with that. And when you get comfortable with being stagnant and comfortable with, having excuses, it's hard to break that cycle. And it's kind of, you feel sorry for those people, and once a person do make it to where they financially in a better place, then every emergency for them is going to be your priority now. And the one time that you say no, you're going to be the bad guy. And this is where that villain, title comes from. You know, oh, he think he better than us. Oh, he think he all that. Oh, he bougie now. Changed up his diet. Oh, he bougie now. He don't eat the same type of stuff that we ate growing up. Now I'm all for some pork and beans. I'm all for you know a bologna sandwich, things that we just came up on. But if a motherfucker want to change their diet and just start to better themselves, I don't necessarily mean they bougie now. It just mean you know, they growing. That's all. And they being mindful.
The thing people don't talk about. Family will always ask you for favors when they feel like you got it. They're going to ask for money. They're going to ask to live at your place. They're going to ask for help. But the moment you tell them no, that's when they're going to tell you how they really feel about you. That's when the name calling start. That's when the disrespect come out. That's when you find out they never respected your boundaries in the first place. See, breaking toxic family cycles is lonely because the people who benefit from the cycle are the same people that's going to get mad when you stop participating in it. They want to access the old version of you. When you operate outside of that, you can clearly see the toxicity and all the drama that goes on. If you're the one in your family that's trying to do better, trying to think better, trying to live different. Don't be surprised when they call you bougie. Don't be surprised when they say you change. You're supposed to change. And to be real, sometimes the only way to break a generational cycle is to become a villain in the story that they tell about you.
That was powerful. To become a, breaking a generational cycle is to become a villain in the story that they tell about you. Because everybody gonna have their own story and their own perspective. Me, when I see a person of change, I root for them. Especially if I know they came a long way. But the person who just want to be stagnant and just get comfortable in being, dependent. I can't mess with it, bro. Like some people get so comfortable with being dependent on others and certain resources that they can't even function being independent. And being independent seemed like too much of a priority to them. Like when it comes to the Black community, I feel like when people do escape these cycles and they start to become more grown and mature and all that, those are the people who they understand why those aunts and those uncles that don't really come around to the family function no more. That, growing up, you be like, man, well, what happened to Uncle Pat? What happened to Auntie Bia? You just give an example, like why they all start coming around. As you get older, you see why they all start coming around. I mean, you see why they stop coming around, and rumors get started, all this type of family secrets start to unravel. And, sometimes people just rather just distance themselves from that, and if you're going to be one of them uncles or aunties that's going to do it, then so be it, because everybody not going to be for your journey the long way. Some people is just meant to be in your story for the first 1 or 2 chapters. They ain't got to be there in chapter 22. If y'all didn't went y'all separate ways, it's cool to just remain, friends on Instagram, see them at the family function every now and then, but y'all two just don't align no more. And there's nothing wrong with that. Y'all see the world in 2 different ways, but as far as people, and then you get the black tax. The black tax is oh, since you Black and since we from the same area, or since we come from the same family, oh, we got to hit you with the black tax. And the black tax is basically, oh, if you got a business you starting, you got to charge me a discount. I ain't got to pay the same price. That's basically the black tax. Or it could be, well, you need to pay more because, you Black, and, these certain groups of people right here, it'll be a better look for them because they are for the outside. So it's just a lot of different stuff in our community that I wish, didn't have this certain stigma to it, and it's just unfortunate, man. Literal crabs in a bucket mentality. But I want to know what y'all think down in the comment section below. Have y'all ever broke a family cycle, or distanced yourself from certain friend groups that y'all used to grow up with, people in the neighborhood, or just family in general? Let me know down in the comment section below. What was y'all experience? If you like the video, hit the like button. If you're not subscribed, what you waiting on? Until next time, I'm out.